Hello, my name is R.J. Adams. I am a writer and a philosopher. I've written several poems and stories that I would like to share with the world. These are all original writings written by myself that have never been published, and that is the purpose of this video. This is my second poems video, and so if you get a chance, check out my other video for my poems. I originally wanted to put all of my poems and stories into one book and publish them that way, but a video seems more appropriate these days. Plus, I get the chance to read my writings as they were meant to be read, or at least how I envisioned them as I wrote them. I also have some stories that I will be hope to make videos of. As well, but I still have editing to do on them when I have time and motivation. So I can't say when I'll definitely have those ready, but eventually. You're welcome to leave a comment below. Any criticism is welcome, but I don't see that it's necessary to be rude or hateful. If you wish to contact me for any reason, my email should be down in the description below. If you like a copy of any of these poems or any of my writings, let me know and I can get that to you. Thank you, and thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy my contribution to the world of literature. And in this video, I will start off with, not all of these are poems. This one's just a little short story. And it's a little thing. It's one of those it's one of those where the reader gets to choose what happens at the end. So it's called What Happened Next, appropriately. The sun was shining so brightly this morning. The day had started out as routinely as any day before it. My husband and I woke around 7 a.m. as we normally do to get ready for the day. I put on my robe and slippers, then went downstairs to the kitchen to start breakfast. My husband came down a few minutes later and asked if I needed any help, and I told him that I had it taken care of. He then went out to grab the newspaper from the front doorstep. He came back in, sat down at the kitchen table, and started to read the newspaper while waiting for me to finish breakfast. Anything exciting happening in the world today? I asked him. Nothing out of the ordinary, he replied. I finished making breakfast, which consisted of our normal morning meal of scrambled eggs, bacon, and toast. I set my husband's plate down in front of him, then sat down in my seat to enjoy my meal. I took a couple of bites of mine, but he wasn't eating. "Honey, your breakfast is getting cold," I said to him. He didn't say anything. He just kept reading the newspaper. "Honey," I called again. "Shh, hold on," he replied this time. I thought he was being a little rude, but this wasn't like him. Something was wrong. I waited for a few minutes, all the time knowing our food was getting cold. Eventually, he stopped reading and raised his eyes to mine. That gave me the most spine-chilling sensation. I had never seen such fear in his eyes before, or in anyone for that matter. "What's wrong?" I asked him. He wouldn't say anything. All he could do was stare into my eyes with horror. What was it that had him so upset all of a sudden? He handed the newspaper to me, pointing to the article that had him so upset. I took the newspaper from his hand and started to read. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I would never have dreamed something like this could happen, but there it was, in black and white. The article read, ... intermission. What was it that had this average couple so upset? That is for you, the reader, to decide. Okay. Next we have a poem. And you probably see a theme with some of these, but I'll let you come to that conclusion. This is called the What Should I Do? I am here, yet I am not. I sense, yet I do not feel. My mind is clouded, yet everything is clear. Where do I go? Who do I trust? I accept this, yet I am cautious. I must decide which direction to go. How do I know for sure which is really which? If they look the same, how do I choose? Right or left, up or down, good or evil? One deceives, the other is truth. If the deception looks like the truth, how do I decide? I may be stuck here for eternity. In between, what should I do? Next I have, why am I here? What is this place? Where is this place? Why am I here? How did I get here? I don't understand. Why am I here? Did someone bring me here? Did I come on my own? Why am I here? Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? What is my name? Do I have a name? Why am I here? Am I alone? Or is someone else here? Why am I here? Will I ever know? I wish I could know. Why am I here? And let's see, next I have a, let's see. Next I have a essay that I wrote at a time when I was homeless. And this was written from inspiration and experience. And I call it Lost Hopes and Forgotten Dreams. What is it like to be homeless? Well, it's no picnic, that's for sure. Having no particular place to lay your head at night, or even during the day for that matter. You are lucky to find a gap in front of some building that might keep the cold wind and rain from making you sick. Then there's a matter of trying to stay alive, having eaten very little to nothing for days at a time. You are very lucky to find a couple dollars at your side that some unknown but generous stranger has left there for you to find. I often see others begging for money as I pass them on the streets. All I can do is smile at the irony. I've never been able to bring myself to beg for money from others. It just never felt right, no matter how hungry or desperate I have been. It's a shame when all the local shelters are full, although judging from past experiences with most shelters, I feel safer and more comfortable sleeping on the streets. There are many who feel the same way. I would give anything to have an address to put on job applications. I would be able to work and live and eat like everyone else. There are plenty of jobs and I have some experience, but I am pretty sure no employer is going to hire someone who hasn't bathed or changed clothes in weeks. I am not sure I could blame them. I find it ironic that you need an address to get a job, but you need a job to get an address to live. It's a no-win situation. There are times when I wonder why I keep going, but then I realize it doesn't do any good to dwell on it. The situation is what it is, and there seems to be little I can do to change it. I know that humans are resilient and can survive many experiences, but some situations just seem hopeless. I guess that is all I have to say. Now I am going to lay my head down on the cold, hard concrete. How much longer I can continue to survive out here is hard to say, especially when you never know if you will ever eat again. To the world I ask this: please help those in need. Some do prefer to live on the streets for whatever reasons, but most do not have that choice. Think how you would feel if you were in their situation, with no hope in sight of life getting better. Ask yourself how long you could survive. Then ask yourself if you have what it takes to make a difference in the lives of those in need. Thank you for reading. And this next one is a poem, and also written when I was homeless, that I saw, that I took inspiration from something. And it's called A Lesson from the Squirrels. I saw some squirrels in the park today. They were running and jumping and happy at play. I threw out a few crumbs so they came to see what kind of treats they were getting from me. They sniffed and ate the crumbs I threw. Then I waited to see what else they would do. To my surprise, what did I see? A little white squirrel came down from a tree. He was running and playing just like the rest. If there was a contest for squirrel playing, he would have been the best. The other squirrels didn't care if he didn't look the same. They didn't tease him or taunt him or call him a name. It didn't matter if he was white or brown or gray. Squirrels do not hate that way. I think it's ironic and funny to see how nature can teach humans a lesson or three. Don't keep prejudice and hate in your heart. Instead, have acceptance. That will do for a start. As for the squirrels, they continued all day, running and jumping and happy at play. This next one, this poem, I had knew somebody that I thought could be a friend, and who it turned out wasn't able to be a friend in the way I needed. So he inspired me to write this poem, and it's called Will You Be My Friend? Will you be my friend? Will you be there until the end? Will you answer when I call, or will you not care at all? Will you comfort me when I'm down, or do you wish me to leave town? Will you tell me everything is okay, or will you tell me to go away? Will I be on your mind when trouble you find? Will you support me in whatever I do, or will I have to fall without you? Will you teach me how to care, or will my heart be left bare? Will you miss me when I'm gone, or will I always be alone? Will you hug me when I need? Will you heal me when I bleed? Will you dry my tears? Will you chase away my fears? Will you never deceive me? Will you always have honesty? Will you never hurt me? Will you never desert me? When I want the world to end, will you be my friend? And another one on something else with friends. This is another short essay I wrote a while back called My Friend Norman. I have a friend named Norman. We have been best friends for as long as I can remember. We like to do all kinds of things together, such as going to the mall or playing video games. We have a lot of fun together. There was one time we got into trouble because we came home really late. My mother was so angry that I was grounded for a month. I didn't mind it so much because I still had Norman to play with. My mother took me to see a psychiatrist because she said I was playing with Norman too much. But he told my mother that it was normal. I don't know what she has against Norman. I like him, and we always have fun together. I guess he scares her, but I don't know why. When I'm sick or lonely, Norman is always there to make me feel better. He never leaves my side. He has always been a good friend to me, and I am glad he is there to comfort me. Kids at school tease me about Norman and tell me I am weird. Is it my fault if no one else can see Norman? Everyone tells me that Norman isn't real, that he is imaginary. But they are wrong. For me, Norman is very real. He has always been there when no one else wanted to be, and I will never let him go. I think everyone should have a friend like Norman. Then no one would ever have to feel alone. For as long as I live, I will always have Norman to help me when I need it. Thank you, Norman. And one more poem. And this one has some history. I wrote this years ago, and I had forgotten. But I found it recently and started reading it, and then I remembered writing it, and I started shed a tear. But it was written from the perspective of somebody who had taken their life and is trying to send a message from beyond to anyone else who is contemplating doing the same. And this has meaning to me because this could have been written by myself. A life was lost today. A life was lost today. It happens all the time. The life that was lost today was a very good friend of mine. I'm writing these lines to tell you to live your life to the fullest, even if it seems that your life is among the very dullest. You may not feel like you have much, and so to you it may seem like you want to end it all and remove your face from the scene. But you have so much to live for, whether you think you do or not. You should never give up on living. Think of everything you've got. You are someone special. Don't stress what others say. We all have our own issues. Life just happens that way. Please don't give up like my friend did. I don't know what I would do if anyone did what he did. Please don't end up like him too. My friend took his own life. It was very sad for me. I didn't believe he could do that. I wish he would have talked to me. But he felt he had no friends, or so to him it seemed. He was never able to share all the things he had dreamed. A life was lost today. I am saying it one more time, because the life that was lost today, yes, my friend, it was mine. And with that concludes my my poems and other writings. I do have stories I would, and of course I have stuff I haven't written down, but eventually I'll get to them. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening and watching. With that, I just want to say that try to be kind. Try to help anyone in need, and just be a good person. And I hope everyone enjoyed my poems, and if you, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.